This is Reality Revelation Restoration. I'm Chris Gray. Today I'm going to talk about the trickle down immorality. And we, this country is caught up. They should rename our country Drama Queen Nation, because this nation has fell into the den of iniquity. And now the women, the radical feminists, taking over our country. And they want all the men to go away so they can control the whole environment and decide and make all the decisions for all their little spoiled brats that they destroyed their minds with all their goodies, all their medications with the help of the doctors. I know no one's watching these videos because it's just too much to bear, but I'm going to keep putting them out there. And this all comes down, it's trickle down immorality. It starts with, to understand what I'm saying, you have to really do some self-observation. You have to look around and watch what goes on in your environment, the environment that you're in direct contact, the people that you're in direct contact with. You have to observe the women, your sisters, your mother, your grandmother. You have to put them on notice and see how they do, see how they're opportunists. Now, women don't do this on purpose. Some do. Some of them love it because they're opportunists. They look for weaknesses, and then they can't stand to see weaknesses in men. And if they do, they attack. They're creatures of opportunity, and what they'll do is they'll find a way to make this fault grow. So, see, a woman can't control a man. A woman can't control the environment if men are in their right minds. That we're supposed to be equal, and we're supposed to have balance. And you can't have one side when men take over everything. That's no good either, because the evidence of that is obvious. All you have to do is look back, say, in the 40s and 50s and 60s, before women started to try to regain balance and establish a balance. Is they had industry, and they were polluting. Some men are so greedy, and they do it for women. They do it because they want to try to please women through idols. See, it's trickle down immorality. It all starts with a godless mindset. And the godless mindset is, like, I'm going all over the place here, but I just want to establish this one thing, that when you pray to reality, that's who you're praying to. Your God is reality. You're praying for reality to take over your life again and be first, be the principle. Reality will be the principle of your life, and you'll see that what these drama queens have done is they've gotten everybody. Everyone seems to be existing on a steady diet, a stale bread, a steady diet of stale bread. Everything that's in their mind. They don't have any objectivity. So all they do is they just keep regurgitating the same old things that they know, and they never grow as a person, because this is what the social engineers, the leftist nanny state social engineers have done. What they want to do is they want to get you on drugs. I told you this time and time again. They want to get you upset, so you need their medications and their drugs and their porn and they want you to revel in debauchery. excess sensual pleasures. They want them. They're happy when people, with these people, these politicians, these are the ones. These are the troublemakers. These are the ones that set the stage for us to live. They would just they would love to just teach us what they want us to know and tell us what they want us to know. They're only going to show you what they want you to see and tell you what they want you to know. They don't want you to go outside this little, like a little pig. They want to make little pigs out of us and put us inside a cage and feed us their slop. And then while they're a bunch of pirates, what they're doing is they're selling our country out to the highest bidder, while we're too busy trying to survive in this hellhole that they put us in. So we have to take the initiative to do this in our own time. The only antidote to all the addictions is for reality to take over your life, and all that staleness, all that stuff that just keeps being regurgitated round and round in your mind is going to fall away. And the good stuff there'll be some other. See, what happens here is you learn that the mind of itself is, you don't mess with it. It just needs to be taught some new lessons, and it's not getting taught the lessons that it needs to learn. It doesn't have the knowledge the knowledge of God that God wants us to have, so we can essentially, it's like this, right? It's a dead man switch. Like, I fuel jets for a living, right? I've done everything for a living. I've worked for builders. We demolished houses. I love swinging sledgehammer, demolishing things. I've painted houses. I've hot-topped driveways. I've poured concrete foundations. You name. I've done landscaping. I've got quite a variety of different things that I've done. I lifted weights. I run. I jump. I do all kinds of things because I take care of what God gave me, because God is in charge of my life. He doesn't let my body get stale or my mind get stale with unforgiveness and grievances, which is basically unforgiveness. Unforgiveness is the problem here. When you forgive everybody and everything, it opens up a whole new dimension in your life. What will happen is you'll have access now, because your mind isn't all caught up in maintaining an image of anger like this. I just want to go back to the dead man switch for a minute here. All right? I fuel jets for a living, and we have a fuel cart that has the hoses in it one goes in the ground, one goes in the jet wing, right? So the cart I have a handle, and it has a switch, and the cart it's not a pump, it's more of a diverter. What it is they push the fuel through the pipes at a certain pressure. Now this thing, I lock into it it's called a moose head. I lock into it, and then when everything's all connected, I press the dead man switch, and this opens up, this hydraulic and electric, it opens up the pipeline, and then the fuel gets diverted and goes into the wing, right? Well, the cart builds up pressure after a while, and after, say, a minute or two, and I have to let go of the switch, and it resets itself, and it's fresh and ready to keep going. This is when we have the knowledge that God wants us to have, it's kind of like Jesus Christ is the dead man switch, but we all know, it's kind of ironic, But if you Jesus Christ is he'll reset your mind so you're back down to so you're back level, so you level out into reality again. You're not going to want your drugs. You're not going to want to get pumped up and polluted anymore by by the people in your environment. Now, see, what you're going to find is a sweet spot where you have to stay, and you're not hypnotized anymore. What happens is the love of God is taking over your life, and no staleness can survive in it. Nothing stale. Stale bread. This is what the left in the right that's not right, the wrong right, wants us to eat. They want us to swallow their stale bread every day. I watch CNN. Hardly. I can't barely stand it because it's so sickening. And then I watch Fox News. They're no better. And MSNBC, they suck. So all you have is Newsmax, and they're okay. They're trying to do the best they can, but these con artist pirates, sellouts, traitors that are in our government they're trying to destroy, everything. They want to take us over. They want to inject us with serums. And then they're going to come up with another reason. These serums have stuff in them. It's all going to come out. Don't get it. Don't get it. If you haven't got that shot, don't get it. Don't do it unless they force it on you. Because even then, you might find a way not to do it. Because this is all going to come out. Already people are dying from it. They're covering it up. People are having heart attacks and all kinds of bad stuff's happening. They're getting a twitch. Things that they never had problems in their life. Now they're sick. Don't get this thing if you can help it. Anyway, don't believe their lies. It's a big scam. They want to inject it. They're going to try to do it again. Not with something else. They're going to keep trying to. They want to control us, and they're going to try to keep the right. There is some people on the right that are good people, but don't look for them in the church. Anything that's a business, you have to look for truth from certain individuals. Don't look for it in a business. They're into money. The church is into making money, and they're not going to help you. They just want they want to put fannies in the seat, and so they can collect their revenue and dress. It's just an appearance. It's all an appearance. Remember, absolute truth has no appearance. That's why God, reality, is my boss. Because I know that all the good things, all the fruit, the fruit of sanity comes through the vine of Christ. That sums that up very nicely. Now, let me see, where am I going to go with this? All right, let's talk about, I want to talk about reality. Because reality is everything. Reality is your power. When we are locked into the present, we're not, it's with the dead man switch of Christ. What happens is that you got to have the other side. It's part of you, and you have to learn how to be the master. And it doesn't want you to be its master. It hates it. So this is what you're going to have to deal with here. You see, the reason why, when your mind is set, when you get a mindset in reality, you're going to see how it tries to grab. it's like it's trying to reach you and get a hold of you, so it can pull you down into the eve, into the sensual, excuse me, into the sensual muck where you're caught, where you take the thought and you're in the past, you're nowhere. Once you take the thought, you're in the future or the past. You're not in alignment with reality. This is where it gets you. This is where it has to find a way. It will. But this is why you have to be alert and see it. And it's going to want you see it has a trick. It wants you to think that you have to do something to overcome it with your mental effort. It's mental effort trying to overcome it. It's a trick. It's the devil. You don't have to do nothing. You're already in reality. All you have to do is just hold your ground and look at it. And just get busy. Find something to do, right? Go out and get some sunshine and some fresh air, right? And it will pass. And then you'll see, this is how you elevate to higher levels of peace of mind. This is how it's done, folks. It's not rocket science, but they're not teaching it because they don't want you to know it, because then you're going to make them look bad. Look, you see, back to Mummy Incorporated, feminism, Mummy. You have to see how women operate. They want to be in charge, and they will resort to anything to do it. They'll be a terrorist. They can be a terrorist. What they'll do is they'll try. Look at your sister. Look at your mother. Say they ask you to do something, but you look at it and you go, I don't need to do that. They can do that, right? And then you're gonna think, if I don't do it, what are they gonna do? They're gonna whip up a storm, a storm of a frenzy of emotion, and they're gonna accuse you, and they're gonna try to make you feel guilty, right? That you didn't do what they're bidding for them because they're too lazy. Because women have a lazy streak. Not all women, Look, all right. Women need love, but love is not appeasement. We talk about this all the time. They want to see you stand for something besides, women, they want to see you stand up like a man and just be a man. You don't have to beat them or scream at them. You don't have to. You just say, talk to the hand and hold your ground. Watch what she does. Just say, no, I don't need to do that right now. You do it. You should do it. If they're just sitting there watching TV, or, if they're busy and everyone's busy, and, remember now, when you're a child of God, you don't let nothing that needs to be done hang over your head. If this needs to be done, and it should be done by you, you get up and do it. Then there's no guilt. Now you're free. And you have all the energy you'll need, because when your mind isn't caught up in illusions, you see your energy teams up, your energy combines with your mind, and it creates an image of you. This is weakness. I don't care how it looks. You young guys out there, I watch these guys. They're funny, I watch these guys on YouTube. They lifting weights and stuff. They're on steroids, or I don't know. They're pumped up, But they're fun to watch. They're young guys, But they just. I don't know why I'm going with this. It's entertaining to see. But sooner or later, you know what happens to these guys? Because they're not doing things that they should be doing. They're wasting it's all vanity. That's what's wrong. It's vanity. They're trying to get an audience to see watch them while they perform their monkey business. This stuff is funny, and it's But it's vanity, and eventually what's going to happen is they're probably, if they're on drugs, they're going to get sick. They're going to have a heart attack. I mean, I look at what happens to, I'm going off course a little bit, but you look what happens to people that do drugs, steroids, they smoke pot, they take the medications that the nanny state offers because they project it onto you that you're anxious and angry, and you swallow the bait, and you just wanted to conform, so you would get their approval. They don't care about you. Once you're on those meds, you're gone. You're gone. You might as well, without the proper guidance, you might as well just go sit in a corner and it's become a vegetable. Because you see, the left is a very conniving, rotten bunch of cronies. What they want to do is if like a guy like me, if they saw me, if I started to get this video start to get traction, and they started to see that people were listening to me and meditating and sitting. Yeah, I don't want you to get caught up with me. I don't want your money. I don't want nothing. I want you to find God on your own, without middlemen, except for Christ. There's your middleman, Jesus Christ. If they saw that this video was gaining traction, what they would do is they would look in my past, or they would try to see. They would get their little feelers out. Remember, these people operate off emotion. It's all about feelings. They would send out their little spies, and they would go out and look for a way to see if I'm on drugs, to see if I take any drugs, to see if I walk the walk that I talk. And they would be very disappointed when they found out that I do everything that I say I do, and I don't do anything that I say that I don't do. I couldn't, with a good conscience, come out here and do these videos. And even though no one's watching, and I'm just basically talking to myself, but I have to put this out there, because if one person gets this, they're free. And one person here and one person there, and the people, they get it, and then what they do is they live it, and then other people see it, and that it's contagious. It's contagious, but it's a good contagious. What it does is it makes everyone independent, and you don't get sick anymore. You're not going to go to the doctor. You're not going to need a doctor, because you're going to do what's right. I mean, if you doctors are great. Now, I'm going to just say something about doctors, all right? There's some good doctors out there, of course, right? Honest, good doctors that are, they dare to help people. And, like a surgeon, and people that sew people up. I mean, they're great at doing stuff like that. Putting people back together that have gotten in accidents and got cut, or they got bit by a snake or something like that. They're good at helping people like that. But when it comes to psychological damage, they can't do anything. And see what these people, wicked psych op, they want to psych op you. You've been psych opped with their propaganda. Psych opped and psyched up. They want you pumped up and angry, and they want us all to hate each other and divide us and keep us fighting amongst each other while they raid the till. Look at these politicians. They come to Washington, right? The Pelosi's, the Clintons, the Obamas. They had nothing. They get in there and they get the media going. You see, it's all a network. President Eisenhower warned us. He said, beware the industrial media complex. I believe that's how he put it. He told us the industrial military media complex. It's a network, and it's all. I'm in a kind of like a weird spot here. It's a hole. Um, let's see what we can do here. All right. He said, beware of these people because they're a network, and what they do is they feed. It's a network of lies and propaganda to keep us asleep, day and night, night and day. You got to shut your TV off. You got to shut your TV off. You got to shut off MSNBC, all the alphabet stations. You got to stop this. You have to stop it. You got to stop listening to music all the time. You don't even have any of your own thoughts. Your own thoughts can't come through when you're hyped up, hypnotized by these people with their constant barrage of propaganda. They're all in it together. They're all getting paid to follow a. They're all getting paid to follow a certain script. They're all in it together. They're like actors. Look at Hollywood's in it too. They're all in. Don't believe these people. Don't. There's nothing. They're all caught up with. All they are is self-serving jerks. All they care about is themselves. Not all. Not all. But most. It's all about look at me. And their self-images. The images that are just it's all vanity. It's the energy that the ego. It's all egotistical, and the energy that draws up and it forms another self within a self. This is what it does. This is how it works. So now I'm gonna unmask immorality. You know, lust, jealousy. It's everywhere. Everyone's caught up in lust, in greed. They want to appear good. They think they can buy good. You can't. It's not good. It's pseudo good. And it all comes out in the laundry eventually. These people falter in all the glamour and the romance. Then you find out that this one cheated on that one, and this one's in rehab. This one stole from here. This one did this. This one did that. It's the same old circus. It's a circus. It's a carnival of con artists, is what it is. Carnage. It's a carnival of carnage. You don't have to. If you're gonna, if when your body drops, do you want your mind to be nowhere? Do you want your mind submerged in your imagination, in your body, just a sponge? Your body's turned into a sponge that's absorbed all these toxins. In your mind is a toxic well of death and destruction. All you can think about is covering up reality all day. Some way. You got to find a way to cover up reality. This is what the ego does. It can't live in reality. I'm just moving this. See, this is the fairgrounds, right? This is that over there. And you got this. You see, it's pretty quiet over here right now. Yeah. See, immorality, you got to look at the catalysts of immorality. It's you want love, and you look in the wrong place for it. And the causes of it, violence, um, betrayal, trauma, um, jealousy, anger. It's betrayal that really does a number on people when they betray themselves. See, reality is trying to reach you. It's trying to penetrate through. God is reality. And from this is God is everything. And you'll see this. You'll see that everything that you've been missing. But first of all, we have to get rid of the buffers, which is all this stuff that you hold up, all this stuff that you hold up to block the light of reality to coming in. And it's an never-ending. The ego has to do this because if it doesn't constantly find, it just does this. Your mind does this. It's not a problem. This is what the mind does. And it's okay. Don't fight it. Don't fight it at all. And watch what happens. It goes away because it's not being energized. It can't get, it's pain food. You see, pain doesn't really exist either. I mean, acute, some pain does. I mean, of course, but like you can, if you really look at it, you can see sometimes that all it is an ego manifestation. What it does is the ego is many tricks up in its bag of tricks. What it does is it takes energy and it lodges it in a spot, an old injury, or it makes a pain. It will create one. It will. This is the spirit. This is the spirit of your mother. This is woman. This is what women do without when they're allowed to take control. The naughty girls, they want to change it. They want to rearrange, change. They want to change the order, the natural order of things, so they can be the boss. And there are only one or two ways they can do this. They can do it through being a terrorist, just being an unreasonable, miserable witch. Or they can spoil you, and so you become, they weaken you. They weaken you by spoiling you with their goodies, with their stuff. But there's always a witch, no matter what face the women are two-faced. Whatever face whatever face they got, it's two-faced. And they got, like my wife, she has a face. I mean, my wife is a nice wife, but look at them. Watch your mother. If anyone just happens to stumble across this video, watch your mother. Watch your wife. Watch your sister. Watch how watch how they're always complaining. Nothing's ever good enough. They're always some kind of pain. They're always needy. Because see, this has all happened in the Garden of Eden when they decided to choose to eat the fruit that fruit of knowledge of good and evil. And once you swallowed that fruit, from that fruit is all the bad stuff was in that fruit, because she wanted to change the order. It was God, man, Eve, but she wanted to make it me and the devil, and the man, God, in the man. And the devil tells her, if you do this and you do that, the evil spirit tells her that if you do this and that, you can be the God. You can be the boss. It's so. This is really funny to me, because I don't really have any ambition for that. I get up and do what I have to do, but I don't really mind what happens. I don't mind. I know that there is no death. It's a big lie. There's no death. And I have access to more than a little pig pen. I mean, I'm not stuck in a pig pen. I mean, I'm a free thinker. I could think about how everything came about myself. I don't need someone else. I don't need an expert to tell me what I should eat. I'll take advice when I see it. I think it's good, of course, right? But I don't follow anybody's regiments to a T. I mean, I'll just go, geez, I like what I saw there. I'll take some of it and do that and do it my way. And, excuse me. All right. I forgot to put my little fake tooth in today, so forgive me. We're getting up there now. We're up to 37 minutes. There's no one to talk to, so it's like I can't, there's no one to ask me questions, so you can't pull something that, I don't walk around with this stuff. I see it. God sends it to me through the vine. I write down the little stuff, and then I ponder it. But I don't rehearse it and for vanity. It's for vanity. I don't rehearse it for pride and vanity. It stays with me. And it comes whenever I need it, it's there. Because I don't want nothing in the space meant for God. The fresh, the pristine reality. And this is what, like I said in the beginning of this video, the reason why the world is so sick is because they're eating stale bread. Their mind has gone stale, and they believe that their thoughts are their identity. They get their identity from their thinking. So they're always in their mind. They're always submerged in it, in its feelings, in it loves, it's sensual. It feeds. What you're doing is you're feeding the worst in you when you do this, and you're not here anymore. You're gone. You're gone, and your consciousness is submerged in illusions. This is why, when you meditate, you have to learn how to sit still and not get pulled in. You have to remember where you are. Remember the principle of meditation. The principle is reality. And you're sitting in your chair and you're watching, and you have a vision in your mind that's not of the eyes, and it sees all this stuff. This is what you have to uncover if you want your sanity. And then you join. It's kind of like, figuratively speaking, you kind of join with it and watch and realize that of yourself, you don't have to fight. How can you fight an illusion? And these things are going to come up and tempt you. These feelings are going to tempt you to deal with them. Don't do it. And sometimes what it'll do, like I said earlier, it'll rise, it'll all come at you. It'll throw everything at you but the kitchen sink and try to sweep you up in it. This is where you have the dead man switch. You get out of the way. It can't hurt you. If you just mentally take a step back and realize that this, you're out of your league here. This is a energy, and it's not real, and it's powerful, but it's not more powerful than God in reality. And once you combine yourself with your real vision in God in reality and stay there, it's out of your reach, and it will go back. It'll go back down where it belongs. Am I making sense to you? Anybody who watches this? Because it makes perfect sense. These videos are awesome videos. Awesome. Because they're going to show you where to go to find the truth. And it's not in culture. There's no truth in culture. It's all meant to keep the woman, pacify women. And while women get excited. And they get a good warm feeling from the juggler and the circus clown and the pimp and the whore and all this stuff. You know, I mean, I'm just using, women are fascinated with this muck, They're so easily led astray. And then they want you to go with them. They want to take the man with them. And they go because they want sex. You want the sex and the approval of the woman. But if you ever got a backbone, said no, stood your ground, didn't argue, because you see, when you argue with a woman, a male argues with a woman, it's two women now. She wants you to become like her. And if you get into an argument with her, she's going to win, because women they can raise this thing up to a level that it goes off the scale, and a man will just be dumbfounded, and he'll go, the only way I can stop this is to shut her up physically. That's not the only way. I'm trying to show you there's another way that's better, because it's like the fox outwitted the hen. Because what happens is, she wants you to do this anyways, but she's not going to tell you this. But she wants love, and that is love. When you then watch out when you do this, if someday you actually are able to find the bread from heaven, the living water that you could drink from the oasis of living water, you'll see now the woman is back, now that things are back and equal again, and now she's gonna like that, and you'll see what happens. They just better watch out when that happens. But until this happens, right, what we got is you got a plane. Right now, our country is a plane with one wing, a left wing. The right wing has been cut in half. So now the plane is spiraling out of control, and these people don't know how to fix it. Because what they do is they inflame each other. CNN and Fox News, back to politics. It's always politics anyway. They inflame each other. They don't solve any problems. And the politicians, they inflame each other. There's no compromise. And like, I'm just going to end this video because I know what's going to happen here unless, I mean, it doesn't have to happen this way, but I think it's going to, but I could be wrong. But if this is decadence, it's moral decay, and decadence always leads to war, because what happens is the men have gotten weakened by the women in the debauchery, and so the women can control the men, and women are easily manipulated by people that know how to whip up emotion, and they get the wrong master. They don't have God as their master. So what happens is, what's going to happen in this country, unless something happens soon, is it's going to devolve into destruction, decay, disease. It's going to devolve into destruction, disease, and death. That's what's going to happen. It always happens this way. So don't be surprised if you wake up some night with a bomb in your neighborhood, because or somebody shooting bullets through your house. This is how it begins. This is what happens when people take drugs, when people are lost in their pleasures and their debauchery, excesses, and they're on a whole regiment of different pills to stabilize their pathetic little egos. This is what happens. It may appear, everything's okay, but it can change real fast. It can change real fast. So you just better be ready, because this can happen. It might not happen. The right has to get control. The right, not the wrong right, has to somehow get control of this thing and restore sanity. I don't know if there's enough of them to do it. And the left's not going to go along with this because they feel guilty now, because they are guilty. They're guilty of disloyalty and betrayal. They betrayed their country. The Democrats have sold their country out to the highest bidder, along with the Republicans. They're all in it together, and that's it. And it's so simple. It's dishonesty. Dishonesty leads to misery, and honesty leads to paradise. I'm going to end it now with that. I said everything I needed to say anyways. I appreciate those people that watch, that one person, or none maybe, I don't know. I know, like, what you really want to do, what this is, the foundation of this program, is for you to go find a place where you can sit still and calm yourself down. That's all you're doing. You're not trying to do anything. You're not trying to make something happen. You're letting the light come into your life. And it's got to trickle in slowly. You won't be able to take it if it comes in too fast. You'll rebel. You'll run back into pleasure and comfort yourself with pills and booze. If you do this, if you do follow my prescription of time out, if you do make a mistake, don't beat yourself up. It's not you. You're going to beat up your reality. That's your true identity. This is the mistake the ego makes. It thinks it can hurt you. It can do a damage to your body if you give it what it wants, but it can't harm your true nature. who you are. You can't touch it. It's still there. It's right where you left it. And with that, I'm going to go. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Stay safe. Keep your eyes wide open and stay present.